Hello, everybody. This is Cesar. I'm a tax professional helping Americans living outside the US or inside the US, but mainly outside the US. This video is not tax advice. If you need advice, please send me an email. You can see my email on the screen. Also, here is my Facebook group. Here are some of my credentials for that qualify me as a tax professional. This is my certificate from the tax court. This is my certificate as an enrolled agent registered with the IRS. And this is my financial risk manager certificate, which has to deal a little bit with taxes. Today, this is not a pleasant topic. It's fair warning. There was a case where a taxpayer or US citizen was denied a passport because he owes taxes. I do not agree with this. I mean, this came into law a few years ago, but it is only now that it's actually having consequences. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, basically, in principle, it's like, I'm not saying you shouldn't pay your taxes. Of course, we all should pay our taxes. But stopping somebody from traveling outside the US because they owe taxes, I think it is, I dare to say that it's inhumane because nowadays with the economy and everybody's life becoming global, what if you have family outside the US? What if your wife or your husband is in another country? What if your children are in another country, you want to go see them? There are so many cases dealing with things like that, to be honest, are more important than taxes. I mean, look, if you owe $80,000 to the IRS, that is not a good thing. I mean, you should pay it, if you can, or work something out. But you should not be prevented from going and live your life and see your family, or they should not be the right of your family as a US citizen should not be taken away because you didn't pay taxes. And sometimes, to be honest, it is it might be the error of the IRS. The IRS might have made a mistake, or you really don't owe taxes, but you owe a bunch of penalties, just because you overlooked something. I mean, some penalties are insane to begin with. They start at $10,000, $25,000 just for not filing a form. And I'm not saying you shouldn't file those forms, of course, like you should, but charging somebody 25,000 because they forgot to file a form is insane. That's one thing. So there are so many things here, which I think that, to me, Congress, when they passed this, I don't know what they were thinking. Maybe they were thinking that they wanted, like, rich guys trying to avoid tax. I'm talking about millionaires and billionaires. They wanted to give them in the country or something like that. But in reality, it's affecting everyday people. So I really humanly, legally, morally, ethically, and in all the aspects I can think of, I completely disagree with the law, with the way it's implemented, and with this court decision, because the IRS sends a letter to the State Department saying, don't issue this person a passport. And the IRS might be wrong. I mean, that's all it takes. Use a letter from the IRS so that you are not able to get a passport. So I'm gonna start. I'm sorry, I'm ranting, but I'm gonna stop now. So I'm gonna talk about this thing. So basically, this happened in the 10th Circuit, and for those of you who don't know, the United States is divided in different judicial circuits. It's just like to make the management of the court system easier, I guess. Not, I guess. I think that's why, because it would be a huge logistical nightmare to have all in one. But basically, the way it works is that if a case, first you have the trial court, so this person obviously lost in the trial court and he appealed, and then he got to the district court. So I guess you can think of the district court like a mini Supreme Court. And this was in Colorado, so it would be the blue here. So this decision does not affect everybody yet. Right now, it would affect the people living in the blue state, the blue states in this map. I don't mean the blue state like the political party. So for example, it is possible that maybe somebody could win the same case with the same facts if they appeal to the Ninth Circuit in California, the Fifth Circuit in California. I mean, the Ninth Circuit, which California is part of, the Fifth, or any other circuit where, you know, that is not the 10th. However, even though decisions in the 10th in any circuit are not precedential for others, they are persuasive. So somebody, the IRS, if this comes up in Arizona, for example, which is right next to Colorado, they can argue that the decision of the district court, the circuit court, I mean, from the 10th circuit is persuasive, and that can help them win the similar case or the same case in the 9th. Of course, this can be appealed to the Supreme Court, and you know, we hope that we don't know how that would rule, how the Supreme Court will rule. So anyway, so this guy, Mr. Mayor, you know, wanted a passport and he was denied because he owed 250,000. By the way, the threshold is, it started at 50, now it's 54,000, which adjusted for inflation. But it is taxes, penalties, and interest. So maybe your tax was only 10,000 or 15,000 or whatever, but it was from 2001, right? Now with penalties and interest, now it's like 60,000. So now you cross the threshold, right? And this article that it is from Owing, Colorado, which you know, it was the best article I could find on this, says that about 500,000 people qualify. What a word. Qualify for passport revocation in 18. Probably now is more like maybe like close to 1 million. And anyways, so this guy argued that the law was unconstitutional on a few grounds. I'm not going to go over it. If you want to find the case, you can look for it. Let me see if I can. Mayor versus Department of State. Hold on. Mayor versus Department of State. I didn't get it for you guys because I don't think you'll read it anyways, but you know, I mean, there are ways to find it, so you can like read the actual case. But he argued that the law, and this is the law, by the way, Internal Revenue Code 2714A, revocation of denial or denial of passport in cases of unpaid, and this is here. If the Secretary of State decides to revoke the passport on limit a previously issued passport only for return travel to the United States, or issue a limited passport. So this is kind of what applies to expats, right? Like, so for example, you can be like living your life with no worries in, you know, some nice place like Spain, Portugal, Bali, whatever. And then like you say, oh, you know what? I want to travel to back to the US, which you can do, by the way. But let's say you want to travel to another country. Well, you might find out that you cannot renew your passport or that your passport has been revoked and you can only travel back to the United States. So basically, you become a prisoner inside the country you are. Or if you go back to the US, you become a prisoner inside the United States. To me, that is a violation of our fundamental human rights. I am not an international lawyer, but I suspect that there should be some international law on human rights that probably goes against this law here. So this person, or I mean, really, I wish I could do something to help. I don't think I can, but he argued that that law violates the Constitution on a few grounds. And to be honest, I don't feel competent to discuss those issues. But one of them was the fourth, I mean, at length. But one of them was the 14th Amendment. And I don't know if you know, but the 14th Amendment, this court said, and I believe other courts said before, that it only applies to states, not to the federal government. Now, I've been reading constitutional law, and this is something that it perplexes me how a clause in the Constitution applies to the states, but not the federal government. That does not make sense. That's like, do what I say, know what I do. I mean, if it applies to the states, by default should apply to the federal government. But anyways, that's another issue. And the court in this case said the same thing, that even these arguments, if they apply, which they also say that they didn't apply, only to the state. So and also I guess that the Supreme Court has not addressed this issue directly or indirectly, so they didn't want to like make law before the Supreme Court. So I don't know if this taxpayer had the intention to appeal to the Supreme Court. Hopefully he wins. But for now, the IRS has, and as far as the 10th Circuit is concerned, has the authority to revoke a passport, not deny a passport, or restrict a passport going back, only to go back to the United States. Okay, so what the hell does that mean, right? So first of all, if you have been filing your taxes, filing your FBAR, filing all your information return, then you're nothing to worry about. If you have been filing your taxes, but you suspect that you missed something, like maybe you have a business outside the US, maybe you have a corporation, maybe you have investment in mutual funds, whatever, you might have missed something. And then you should look into it so that you fix it, so that you don't find yourself in this situation. What about you being outside the United States for a long time and you forgot, it said out of sight, out of mind. Let's say you make very little money, and you live, very humble life. And you don't even need to file taxes. So let's say you're a single and you made, say $5,000. So you don't even need to file taxes. What I have seen many times, and many times I mean about 5 or 6, is that people move, they missed something. The IRS sends them a letter, or the state sends them a letter, and because they are no longer in the US, they don't get it. And then that, $300 accumulates penalties and interest to the point where now it's maybe 15 or 20 or whatever. So you need to look at that, okay? So if you are in that situation, it is in your best interest to get a hold of your transcripts, and maybe I do a separate video talking about how to get your transcript. But one way is you can do it yourself online. Problem with SPAC is, if you haven't filed a tax return in the last 3 years with a US address, it might be difficult, close to impossible. You also need to have a US cell phone number so they can send you like a text, so you can this is like a level of security. So if you don't have that, it will be hard to do it on your own. You can also request paper copies by filing a form, but as we all know right now, the IRS is backed up like crazy. So it might take years for you to get those transcripts. Or you can hire a professional like myself. You file a power of attorney. I submit it to the IRS. Once they get it and they process it, they allow me to get transcripts from my clients, so I can see if they owe taxes, if they didn't file taxes, if the tax return were accepted by the IRS and processed by the IRS, etc., etc. I'm not the only one who can do this. You can, if you have a CPA or an enrolled agent or a tax lawyer, you can also tell them to do that for you. It is Form 2848, and actually, I think I will make another video. So I think that's it. Let me share my contact information again. This is my email. This is my Facebook group. So if you have any questions, send me an email. New. So this is my this is my phone number. Like if you are in an emergency and you need to speak to someone right away, you can send me a text here through, this is a check number. So through WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal, what's the other? Then that's it. In the US, That one has to be a regular text message. I don't have WhatsApp on the US number. So, you know, if you are if you need a quick answer, send me a text and I give you a call. So share this video with someone who you think needs it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, join my Facebook group, and you know, talk to you soon. Bye bye.